Hi everybody, it is Brittany and I am back. It has been about 9 months since I have recorded. You'll see a little bit of a change of location. So we actually purchased in the last 5 months. Wow, it's longer than I thought it was. The last 5 months we actually purchased a house. So I actually now have my own crafting room, which once I have it a little more organized the way that I want it, right now it's actually being a little bit overrun by my work supplies. So that's another story for another day. Probably talk about it later, but yeah, once I have a little bit more organization in the way that I want it, I would love to share my craft room as well. Basically, I'm just going to do a little bit of an overview of what I'm working on right now. There are some things that I finished between my last video and this video, of course. One of them is actually what I'm wearing, my Soldotna crop. It is all my hand-dyed yarn. It's based on a photo of the Hufflepuff common room, which I think I have posted on my Instagram page. Yeah, it's definitely posted on there, but it's got some greens, browns, a little bit of pink, and then of course the Hufflepuff orange. So I finished also, let me try and think, socks, kind of smaller projects. I had a lot going on the past really 9 months. I took some time off and then I kind of really got back into it as far as knitting and just feeling that creativity come back to life. So I'm really excited to share some new things with you guys that I've been working on. So we'll start. I don't have any finished objects. So we're going to start with works in project. It's been a while, sorry guys. Works in progress. So the first thing has been something that I've been working on, I believe, since December of 2018, but good reason. It's actually a blanket. So I've actually put quite a lot of work on this blanket, and I'm trying to get the best way that might be better to see. But I actually have put about from here all the way up to here since December. So I worked on these Christmas colors as well as this larger block over Christmas, and then everything above that has been since Christmas. So I put quite a bit on there. So I've had some projects. I finished my Penguono, so a lot of that yarn has gone into here. This is kind of just my scrap yarn. So this is a pair of socks. This is, I messed up while I was winding yarn, and so it broke off. I figured I'd add that in here. And then I also have some minis from a Homespun House, Molly. I'm one of her patrons. And so I get minis every month from her, 3 minis. I actually think I got some today. I'll have to check the mail. But I've really been enjoying this. This has kind of been, with everything going on, really comforting to work on, and I've really enjoyed it. So it's probably just below, as far as when I stand up, just below like my bust area, and you'll hear my dogs in the background, I'm sorry, but just below my bust area. So it's I'd like for it to come, above my head quite a bit. So I've got a while to go, but put some awesome work on that. Next up, so this one is really going out of my comfort zone a lot. So the yarn that I'm using is my hand-dyed yarn, and I'm having a hard time because it's late in the day. I should have done this earlier, but I didn't really have time. But I am using my own hand-dyed yarn, DK weight. It is, I believe, 80/20, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Another thing I'm going out of my comfort zone is the needles. Well, I guess using my own yarn is not out of the comfort zone. This is all my also DK yarn. more the pattern, but also the needle. So I'm using the Addy Square 2, I think. Well, it says squared, so I guess they put the little 2 over it like it's squared. Needles. And at first, I had a really hard time getting used to them, but I've actually really loved working with these needles. So I'm probably going to invest in some more at some point, just because I think that they're really great and kind of, I think they're helping. I don't know. Okay, so what I'm working on is let me look it up. The Framework Bralette by Jessie Mae Designs. And I have finished the band, so the under boob part. Yeah, so I now need to, I believe, move into my larger needles. And I'll have to go back through the pattern to kind of read it a little bit more. I did read over it, but I just feel like, just to make sure I get the concept as far as what's going on, that I read a little bit more. I think there's maybe pooling, I don't know, it looks more like some speckles right in there. Okay, sorry, my husband just called me. Oh goodness. Yeah, so the Framework Bralette, Jessie Mae Designs, it's a DK weight yarn. This is not the same color as this, although it kind of might look like it. This has speckles, darker speckles of gold and brown in it. And this one is just an orangey color. Coming off on camera is yellow. This one is more orange though, than this yellow. So I actually should have really written down what I did for this, but this colorway as well as this colorway, and I have a few more up here. I was just kind of playing around to see if it's something that I really liked. I love it, and although right now it's just for me, I will be ordering some more yarn to do some more dyeing once I work a little bit through my stash. This one is full of more commercial yarns that were gifted to me, and then the top is all of my hand-dyed yarn. So I really do want to work through my stash, but my goal is to get some more yarn ordered and kind of just play around some more. I would love to eventually maybe have a shop. I don't know. I talked about this before on my podcast. As far as having a hand-dyed yarn company, it's tough. It's a lot of work. It's something I would love to do though. So maybe someday I'd love to. But cannot recommend more this pattern. She has such wonderful sizing opportunity, or I don't even know how to word that. Just really great sizing, really inclusive sizing. I guess that would be the best term for it, inclusive sizing. And she really does an amazing job of explaining kind of what's going on in the pattern and why, how shaping of a body works. For a long time, I guess I wasn't really aware of that. And then my first time really understanding about my own body and sizing was actually making this cropped sweater. I do have it cropped. I have not worn it out yet. I don't have that much confidence, but I really love wearing it around the house. And it's just really cozy and comfortable for me, but not quite there yet as far as wearing it out in public. This one, of course, will not be worn out in public unless there's something over it. I do have a set of overalls that are really cute that I would wear both this and this under and feel comfortable. But of course, they're like summery, they're short. So although we're having some warm weather, it's in the 80s today. But we also had really stormy weather, so we did not have Wi-Fi. So I couldn't work today. At all. So it was about 11 o'clock. My internet just completely went out. And I was on the phone with IT. I was like, well, it was so complicated. I was on the phone for IT for an hour and then with our cable company and finally realized what was going on. So, yeah, all that to say, love this bralette. And I worked through this probably took me 2 days to do just the band, not 2 full days, but 2 evenings to work through it. Yeah, so I think it will be a quick knit. Hopefully I'll have an FO soon, and I absolutely love it. Please go out and, if you can, I know a lot of people are furloughed or have time cut or, whatever the circumstances may be, but if you do have the ability to, there are a lot of really great makers in the community right now, both yarn dyers as well as pattern designers and everyone, really anyone who's a maker in this community. I've seen a lot of people giving back, so donating some of their profits, or a lot of people who have, like Jessie May Designs, she has pay what you can, I believe is what she calls it. Basically, like, there's 3 tiers of discounts. And I think it's amazing right now, being kind of cooped up, it can feel a little stressful, but, support your makers that you believe in, that have the same morals as you, and just, keep on going about life as the best that you can. And if you can't do that right now, you're definitely in my thoughts and everything like that, but we're going to get through this, guys. So that's kind of why I decided to start this back up, kind of considering also vlogging, and just to kind of keep my time occupied, but as well as just to kind of have this as a reminder for myself to appreciate the little things, because that's what we're appreciating right now. It's not going out on fancy trips or going out to super nice restaurants or buying fancy things right now. It's having time with your family, as well as enjoying the things that you have around you right now. So I've been enjoying a lot of time being home. I get to spend time with my dogs, which I don't usually get to do during the day. I've had a lot of time to knit and crochet. All of my professors have been very lenient, moved back a lot of assignments, which took a lot of stress off of me as well. So I've had some more time to relax, and then I felt more prepared to get the work done. So there's been a lot of good that's come out of this, even though it's not great. It's definitely a bad situation, but I've seen a lot of really amazing things, people really supporting their community. So if you can do that, certainly do that. If you do need the support yourself, there are a lot of communities and organizations that are currently helping out with that. My company is one of the largest donators in my area to United Way, and we're also donating money to our associates who are having a hard time right now, whose spouses may have lost their jobs, things like that. So kind of this is my quarantine project. I started it maybe about a week ago, and again, I've had about 2 nights that I put work into it, so I've been really enjoying that. This is my final whip that I'm going to be discussing, and I'm kind of losing the light, and I'm so sorry. Again, I should have done this earlier, but things got really crazy today. This is an old whip. I have been pulling things out that I want to work on. I have another one back here. It is the Worsted Boxy by Hoki Locatelli. I also recently purchased her regular boxy, like with the fingering yarn, and I'm going to make that as well, but I'm not going to start that until I finish my Worsted Boxy. So I guess order of importance right now, or how I'm finishing. So during the day, when I have a few moments, just when things aren't crazy, I've been actually picking this up. And this is my Marled Magic by Stephen West. So I think I started this in 2017. And I was right here. You can see the color change. I ended up right here. So I've put quite a bit on it. And this has been probably about a week that I've been working on this as well. So I'm trying to take as much knitting time as I possibly can during the day, kind of trying to use my time that during my breaks and my lunch to kind of relax and enjoy a little bit more rather than still be in that work environment, which is difficult because it's right in front of you at home. But I feel like picking up knitting, I've really been able to separate myself and distance myself. Sorry, the mailman just walked by and that scared the crud out of me. I've really been able to kind of distance myself from being at work versus being at home. So yeah, I've really been enjoying this. I actually have, here, I'll show you, a basket full of yarn that I want to add to it. So right now, I've got Dragon Egg by Legacy Fiber Arts. I've got a Madeline Tosh color that is going in right now. I've got this really colorful scrap. This were some of my socks. This sparkly, this is from my Pinguono. I have this. This was from my Find Your Fade shawl from forever ago. This is also from my Pinguono. I have this. This is by the Woolen Homestead. Super hard to see right now. It is like a yellow, dark blue, green, orange colorway. It's beautiful. I have this, Silence in the Library by Bad Wolf Coral Studios. I also have this. I believe this is called Mermaid's Cove, also by Bad Wolf Girl Studios. I always mess up her, and it's just my speech issue. I want to say, it's just a nightmare. But yeah, so I've got quite a few. I mean, I'm finishing up only Clue 1. So I've got a lot of work to go, a lot of things to do on this one. But I've had a lot of fun working on this. So I'm excited to have it when it's done. And I just feel when I get out of this quarantine that I'll have a lot of new things to enjoy. I've got my socks, I've got my Soldotna, I've got my Pinguono. Hopefully I'll have this. I'd love to have the bralette as well as my worsted boxy done. And then I also have over there socks that I just need to put the heels on and just be done with them. Put them in my drawer and just have them there for the fall. Because it is starting to get super warm here, so kind of not always in the mood to wear knit socks right now. But anyway, so that is really all the knitting content that I have, knitting crocheting content that I have right now. Again, I do have my worsted boxy, but that's kind of underneath a few things. So that is what I'll work on once I finish my Marled Magic. Only reason I'm doing it that way is that way if I focus on a few projects, I'm more likely to get them done instead of just seeing very little progress on a few things or on many things. I want to see lots of progress on a few things. So that's kind of my strategy as far as what I'm doing in the quarantine right now. Yeah, we've just been really kind of relaxing. Watching a movie every single night before we go to bed has been a lot of fun, actually. I've really enjoyed that. Didn't think I was going to, but I totally am. And we've been just on a really good schedule as far as like cooking every night, cleaning every day. We're doing like one of someone I follow on Instagram, on one of my like personal-ish Instagram is Clean Mama, I think is her name on Instagram, or her hashtag, not hashtag, her handle. I'm so bad at this. Clean Mama, and she has daily tasks, and so we're doing that right now, and just trying to enjoy things as much as we can. Getting out, playing with the dogs, and letting them enjoy sunshine while we have it, and when they come back in, they're just ready to sleep, and then eat, of course, as always. I've seen a lot of people doing so much baking and bread making, and oh my gosh, it's made me want to get a bread maker and start making bread, but we're definitely not doing that right now. not because, financially, but we've got other goals right now as far as saving and paying off the very last of our debt, which is exciting, which is a car. And so it's kind of where we're at right now. We're just enjoying the quarantine lockdown as much as we can and trying to be productive. I would say, if you're not being productive, that's totally okay too. I've seen a lot of pressure out there of if you don't, come out of this quarantine without knowing a new craft or knowing how to cook or bake, or if your house is dirty or whatever it might be. I just think that's a load of crud, because people handle things differently. For me, I want to have a to-do list to check things off, but for some people that might be overwhelming right now. And that's totally okay. So I really hope people that are doing the best that they can for their own mental health, because if you're not, you're going to be in a really tough place. So I've seen a lot of great things come out. One thing, if I personally wasn't in school right now, that I would take advantage of is some of the course offerings that schools are giving out for free. Like Yale is giving out a lot of really cool courses that are just completely free that you can go through at your own pace and take. And if I had some extra time that I wanted to allot to that right now, I totally would. But I'm trying to focus on my last semester of school, which is also taking up quite a bit of time. Be graduating in May, although I'm not graduating. I won't have the ceremony. I am still graduating, which is great. And just trying to, as much as I can, be positive. And when I'm not feeling positive, be around people. And when I'm not feeling positive, be around people or call people, or not be around people, but, call people that make me have a smile. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this podcast or this yarn cast, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to do my best to try and do these every single week. I don't see why I shouldn't be able to. Just to kind of update on progress as far as my projects that I'm working on right now, as well as just to bring hopefully a little bit of light to any of you guys who are watching right now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please subscribe if you liked it and if you want to see more. And I'll also try and do some vlogs throughout the day as well, just to kind of share my daily whatever I'm doing on this quarantine, although it's not much, I promise, other than being at home. But, just more positivity, I think. If we see more, it'll be okay. And my dog just came in, so that's my cue. You guys have a great rest of your night, evening, whatever you're doing right now. Have a good one. And stay positive as much as you can. If you have pets, love on them a little bit more. And I hope you guys enjoy your knitting and crocheting, any crafting that you guys like to do. I hope you guys are enjoying that right now. Bye.